All right. How are you getting on? I gotta be honest, up top. I'm off of my nut. I've had too much fucking coffee and I'm off of my nut. Should have had less coffee. Do you remember that tune? Out of your mind. Temple Oak, you're out of your mind. This tune's gonna punish you. With Dane Bowers and Posh Becks with Out of Your Mind. That was Posh Becks there with Out of Your Mind, feat Dane Bowers. Speaking of feet, did you ever see his sex video with Jordan? The hottest bird there is. Dane Bowers was banging Jordan. Sorry. This isn't... I don't normally talk... Anyway. I tell you, what a time to be a pop star. The early aughts, right? When you could be a little chunky boy, like Dane Bowers. No offense to him. Sure, I'm coaxing in on 13 stone at the moment. Come on, 12 and a half. But I'm filling out my face at the moment. I think I've been eating shite. Anyway, stop it. Someone actually did send me a message there saying, Tony, listen, I'm really enjoying the podcast, but you need to stop having a go at yourself. You must be listening to different things, because when you say things aren't funny, they actually are really funny. So thanks very much for that, the person who I don't have it to hand. But anyway, see, there I am being cruel. I wouldn't treat a dog like that. Dane Bowers, an era in pop when you could be a little chunky boy, wear oversized denim. Just give me the dregs. Give me all the FUBU you have in TK Maxx. Give me some frosted tips and call me a star. Because I'm Dane Bowers, man. And then Dane Bowers. And number 2, Dane Bowers. And then Dane Bowers was in that group. He was in Another Level, right? And they had that song, Let Me Lick You Up and Down till you say stop every time. Let me play with your body, baby. Make you real hot every time. There was always there was the lads up top saying the really sexy stuff, let me lick you up and down. And then some clearly very shy lad in the back, every time I think about it. 'Cause tonight, baby, I wanna get freaky with you. That was Dane's part. Baby, don't you understand? I wanna be a nasty man. Great song. Anyway, can't remember any of the other songs they had. But anyway, sure, Another Level. Dane Bowers then was in that. See, you couldn't move for the reality shows back in the early noughts. Geez, it must be 20 years ago now. And a spiritual sequel to Totally Scott Lee. Was it Scott Lee, or am I thinking of fucking Bruce Lee? Totally, hang on. Hang on. Talk amongst yourselves there first. Totally Scott Lee, yeah. Because the Scott Lee family, oh my God, there was Lisa and Andy Scott Lee. Lisa Scott Lee was... whatever. What was she in? Steps or something. Was she? Of Steps, right. Anyway, so the spiritual successor, the follow-up to Totally Scott Lee was Totally Boy Band, where they got five. Who's this guy? I'm going to correct you there, Tony. There was actually 5 of them there. Thank you very much. Cornish Corrections Office. Hey, no problem, Tony. Alright. See, I do characters, I do funny bits. He's brilliant. If you listen to Tony, he does funny bits, he does characters, he does he talks about Totally Scott Lee, he does a Cornish guy. Anyway, what was I talking about? For God's sake. Sorry. Totally Scott Lee, and then there was Totally Boy Band. So you had Andy Scott Lee, who was in some other fucking group, 3LS or JLS or whatever it was, and then Lisa Scott Lee, and then the spiritual successor reality show for this was Totally Boy Band, and they had 5 ex boy band members. Most of you weren't even alive. You know, when I was saying this, hopefully most of you. Hopefully I don't have any old 30-year-olds listening to this. Ugh. When will they just die? Why can't they just die and let our policies in place? God! When are they just going to die? When are these 30-year-olds going to die? We can just get rid of the Angelas on RTE. Right. I think now I'm verging on being obnoxious. So, anyway. I welcome all ages, right? Not all ages. Oh my God, my heart is beating on my chest. Listen. There was Totally Boy Band. And there was 5 boy band members in it, right? One lad from S Club 7, Bradley, the hot one, right? Then there was Lee from Steps, who was bullied, almost bullied out of the group. I think he actually left. I think they bullied him out of the group. You had Dane Bowers. You had Jimmy Constable from 911. Don't remember him. And Danny Wood from New Kids on the Block. He was tough. And whenever he spoke, they used to listen to him. Keep in mind, right? New Kids on the Block had Donnie Wahlberg, the brother of a man who smashed in a Vietnamese man's head. Mark Wahlberg, famously. Mr. Get up at 6 a.m. and go to walk in the park and smash a Vietnamese guy's head in because I want a beer. What an asshole. Mark Wahlberg's an asshole. And also, get this right. This chap gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning, goes to bed at fucking like 6 o'clock in the day. He's got like 5 kids. Yeah. Daddy's go to sleep. Mom, look after the kids. Mark, do you want to? Hey, you got a beer I want? No, I'm not saying that he's probably. I'm not saying Mark Wahlberg is threatening his wife, but he's leaving her to fend, fucking kids. Like, he's got like 5 kids. Anyway, I shouldn't have. Anyway, so what I meant to say is that the New Kids on the Block are tough, right? So they bullied Lee out of the group. This is the intro. I'm doing a recap for a reality show that 7 people saw 20 years ago. Anyway, this is just the amount of second chances people got. Dane Bowers had another chance. And do you know what they named the group? They had a single, right? What was it called? The name of the band was Upper Street, right? This is how lazy these lads were. They were all sharing a flat in Angel, and the main high street is called Upper Street, and they named the band Upper Street. And they were humming and hawing. This is like 6 episodes of the show, and they only came to the name of the band episode 4, and they're like, "Yeah, we looked outside, we just thought, there's a sign that says Upper Street." You thought, yeah, lazy. These lads given second chances. I don't have a point to make. And I don't. Mark Wahlberg seems like a nice guy. He's repented. Anyway, what was my point? Yeah, I've had too much coffee. This is. Ow! Did you hear that? That was a creak in my elbow. This is Tony Campbell's Shit Show.
Tony Campbell's Shit Show. And I know that the show is Tony Campbell's Shit Show. And I know, yeah.
Now that I've alienated everyone. I mean, think about that. I spend the first almost 10 minutes of this show saying about how, like, no one even knows who Dane Bowers is. And I'm talking about the bands he used to be in. And I'm going into the ins and outs of a reality show. Like, it's the same as when people used to tell, like, people would be talking about Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan. And I'd be like, are you still fucking talking? Are you still talking? Did I say you could speak? Did I fucking say you could laugh? That used to be a trend. Bullies in my school. Here, did I say you could laugh? Did I say you could speak? And then you'd laugh to break the silence. Here, did I say you could laugh? Bloody bullies, huh? I remember I was walking back from Centra. There was a Centra near my school, Art School Reach, right, where everyone used to go, and we used to walk down the lane. The lane was our spot. You know, back in the day, the lane was our spot. No one came down the lane but us. Might put some, you know, some Goodfellas music there. How lucky can one guy be? Hey, you know, the lane was our spot. We had chicken fillet rolls. Sometimes we had a 4-in-1. We had a little Jimmy. He was the brains of the operation. And then there was whatever. Anyway, I remember, I'm talking about bullies. I remember I still do. I have long hair and I've got glasses and I have a beard. And I wear a lot of hats. I do a lot. Maybe I'll go to therapy about it at some stage. I do a lot to cover my face for whatever reason. For whatever reason, I wear a lot of accessories. And I couldn't possibly have my glasses off, you know, a beard shaved, whatever it is. Deep psychological issue. Whatever. We're not getting into that now. But I'm fine. I'm very happy. You know, I just don't like being clean shaved, and I don't like not having my glasses on. That's what I don't like. Why do I not like it? Don't know. Right? Just don't. I have things I like. Anyway, I think I'm handsome. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think I'm handsome, so don't worry about me. Don't be offended, Tony. You know, and I've got lovely hair, right? So don't worry about that, right? Anyway, so I used to try out new kind of things. I'd be trying out new hats. Sometimes I'd just be rocking a new hat. Sometimes I'd just be rocking a fucking bit. I used to do a thing where I would, when I was like 15, I had glasses, and I used to, they were kind of like big kind of Buddy Holly glasses, similar to ones that I have now. And I used to put bits of tape in the middle, like they were broken, like a fucking dweeb. And I used to change the color of tape and different types of tape every week or so, just to kind of accessorize. And man, I was beating off the pussy with a stick. I said, Coach, give me 2 fucking hurls, because these bitches are slitters and I need them. And I need them to get, because they won't leave me. Ever since I put the tape on my glasses, Coach, I've had to get 2 hurls. Sorry. I'm in a giddy mood today, right? Anyway, so no, I was frigid until I was 17. So anyway, I used to try out new things, and so for a little while, I was trying out one of those train conductor hats. Oh, I was trying out one of those train conductor hats. You know the ones? Come on, you remember Fallout Boy? Remember the ones? They were kind of have a bit of a, like a big kind of like baggy kind of hat, baggy kind of like loose cap, and then with a peak, like a train conductor. Like a train conductor. So there I am in my Art School Reach uniform, with a train conductor's hat on, right? Because I thought that was cool. And I was trying to peacock. So I had this train conductor hat, and I was coming back from the lane when me and the boys would just finish our chicken fillet rolls. And I was walking past, crossing the traffic light, and a chap up on a moped was parked, and I was crossing the lights. And he goes, "Here, chew, you." Right? He goes, "Yeah, fucking chew. About my hat. You fucking chew, right? So and I don't know where the confidence came from. You know when Italians kind of put their hand, I don't know if they're always Italians, but they put their hand in the inside of their elbow and they flip it up and show their fist, the back of their fist. They put one hand in the side of the right hand in their left elbow, and they flip it like, "Hey, up yours." Or like, you know, you're one, you know, the feminist icon poster, you know, that kind of thing. I did that, and I flipped them off. And I did the Vince McMahon / Eminem flip off, where you're index finger and your ring finger kind of go halfway up. It's not just like the fist and just the finger up. It's like half of a hand, right? So I boom up like that, and I flipped him off, right? And then I walked up on the path, right? And then I just heard boom. He drove up on the side of the path, and he goes, "What did you say?" And I said, "I didn't." And I was like, I didn't say anything, because I didn't. I genuinely didn't say anything. Like, don't be fucking smart. And he clattered me in the head with his helmet. And no, there's no funny end to the story. I hurt, and that was the end of it. I need to become, right, goals for 2020. Become better storyteller. Work from ending back. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. Yeah, fucking chew, what? Ew. And then, what you fucking say? I didn't say that. Oh! But bullies are bullies. Why am I talking about this? I don't know. I tell you, it's bloody sweating buckets of coffee is what's going on. I tell you, I overheard something great there yesterday. I was on Dunleary Harbour, having a walk. Me and my partner Terry, went for a walk on Dunleary Harbour, and we brought from home a fruit salad, and we ate it on the harbour. That's what we did. And we said to each other, I said, Terry, dear, how about we make a fruit salad, we go out to Dunleary Harbour, and we eat it at the end of the harbour. And she said, that's a lovely idea. Right? So we did that. And while we were eating our fruit salad, there was a guy playing the guitar. And he was playing that song, Hey, Mama, rock me. You know the one? I'm not going to have a go. I mean, some people consider that song a basic B indicator. Someone starts singing that song, you're like, okay. That's not me. I don't think that. I think each their own. I got some guilty pleasures myself, right? Now, this guy who was playing the guitar, I thought this was smart, right? He was playing, people were walking up and down the harbour, right? And clearly to maximise his profitability here, he thought, I'm going to play the bit that everyone knows, because people are only going to be walking by me for a couple of seconds, because no one was stopping. So he just kept playing the Hey, Mama, rock me, da ba da ba da ba da 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 da. Hey, Mama, rock me. And these two lads were walking up, and one of them had a massive dog, right? So real legends, these guys, right? No, that's not fair. That's not fair. But I'll tell you, they were. I mean, they were kind of like, I don't know. They had an air about them, like, they had a static about them. They had a static energy about them that was like, give me an excuse kind of vibe. That's fair. Do you know what? I'm totally projecting. Whatever. The lads were they were loving life. They were fucking locked. They were locked. And they were just loving life, right? That static energy's coming from within. That's the story I'm telling myself. Anyway, fuck off. Shut up. You wouldn't treat a dog like that. Okay. Anyway, the guy was playing the guitar, and he was like, hey, mama, rock me. Same bit over and over again, right? And these two lads are walking up, and your man heard the song from far away, and he's like, oh, yeah, here we go. Fucking yeah, mama, rock me, you. And then he threw some money in the thing, and he actually stopped, right? But then the guy kept going on to the next chorus, but he was doing the other bit, like he was doing the verse again. And he's like, you already did that part. Why are you only doing the fucking chorus? And your man obviously wasn't stopping. He was like, hey, mama, rock me. He's like, I should take that fucking money back and smash the guitar over your head. He drew him like 20 cents, right? I had to take that fucking change back and smash over your fucking head. You fucking... Right? So as he was walking off, right, he said, something else caused attention, right? He noticed then, he looked over across Dublin Bay and clocked Howth, obviously, on the other side. You know, as we all know, a bay is a bit of a horseshoe. One side you got like Dunleary and all that, and the other side you got Howth, right? So he clocked Howth on the other side, right? And he said to his mate, is that Howth, is it? And your man said, yeah. And he goes, man, they should like just fucking build a fucking road so you can just fucking drive there. Fucking skip town, just fucking drive there, right? Essentially saying he wanted to get a road built all the way around Dublin Bay directly to Howth, right? Essentially cordoning off Dublin Bay with a road, right? So they should build a fucking road there so we can just get there now. And his mate just goes. So he goes, is that Howth? Is it? Yeah, there. They should build a road there. And your man goes, yeah, but what about the boats? And then he said the most amazing thing I've ever heard. He goes, fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck the fucking boats. Yeah, fuck the boats. Fuck trade. And fuck fucking ferries and the port. I want to drive to Howth now. Fuck the fuck. Yeah, what about the boats? Fuck them. Fuck them. They're not part of my bigger plan. They're not big picture. Fuck the boats. So I decided there and then, as intimidating as he was, because he was shouting at a couple of people, fuck the boats is my new motto for 2020, right? And essentially what that means for me, it's my new Larry slogan to FM. My new Larry slogan for the year is going to be fuck the boats. And what that means for me is, right, against the odds, right, against the feasible logic, let's fucking make it happen because I want it now. Fuck the boats. Someone says it can't be done, I'm going to tell them, fuck the boats, get it done. Well, I'm not going to be an asshole. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to be an asshole, but you know what I mean. Just, I know it doesn't make sense, but I want it. All right. So that's going to be my new slogan for 2020. Cún maith leis, as well as my existing slogan of be really, really dumb. This year, you got to say, fuck the boats and let's be really dumb. And I tell you, being really dumb has been really beneficial, right? I just came back from Spain. I was on Cheeky Little Hollybops with my wife. This was before we went to have our fruit salad at the harbour. And I tell you, I said to her before we start, I said, I am going to be really stupid on this holiday. And what that means is I am just going to speak in the limited Spanish that I have, and I don't care if I sound really fucking stupid. And let me tell you this, I sounded like an idiot. Idiot. But I was communicating better than I've ever communicated with anyone in a foreign language, right? I was going into places in Spain and I was saying fucking bonjour. How's it going? Bonjour. How you doing? Right? And I was leaving places saying obrigado. That's fucking thanks in Portuguese. I sounded stupid. Siberia. I'm being obnoxious now. I was dumb. I must have sounded like the dumbest person, but I was communicating. I was going into little pincho bars in San Sebastian. They're like little tapas. And I was saying, hey, ¿cuál es la especialidad? ¿Cuál es la especialidad? And they were looking at me. And then I kept saying it like an idiot. ¿Cuál es la especialidad? Which, as far as I know from Google Translate, says, what's the specialty? I'm an idiot. A smart person looks at the menu, tries to figure something out on their own. A dumb person, an idiot, walks into a bar. An idiot walks into a bar and says, ¿Cuál es la especialidad? And do you know what? They fucking gave me the specialty, and we were eating better. It was the best food I've ever had in a whole holiday, because they were giving us what the locals eat. You know? Giving us the good stuff. What's the specialty? What was the specialty? Oh, here you go. It's this fucking deep fried brie covered in sesame seeds. Yum 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 yum. Yum yum yum. ¿Cuál es la especialidad? And then someone said, oh, todos. And I was like, what? Because I was stupid, right? Essentially, they were saying, what's the special? ¿Cuál es la especialidad? They said todos, which means everything. And then I was like, ¿qué? Which means what? And then they specified it for me. And they gave me the specialty. And it turns out it was delicious, gelatinous pig's ear, which doesn't sound good, but it was very tasty. Very nice, with a little bit crackling on the top. So that was very beneficial. Was being really stupid. Another time I was really stupid was on the flight back. Me and my wife were separated. We were sitting in different seats. And Terry was saying, come on, let's just sit in the normal seats, like, in case someone comes in. And I said, Terry, as far as they know, I am the dumbest person that's ever got on. I shouldn't, as far as I want them to know, it should be illegal to allow me to fly unsupervised. I'm so dumb, right? That's how I'm playing this. So if they ask us to switch seats, I'm literally going to fucking drool milk onto my lap if they make us switch seats. What? What? But what? Hang on, what's the difference between A and D? Does that still mean the window seat? Hope I'm not verging on offensive here. But I mean, do you know what I mean? I said I'm going to be the fucking dumbest person they've ever seen in their life. Now, as it turns out, people did come along and they did say move, and we had to move. But the first people that came along that asked us to move, I was like, what? Oh, no, I can't. No, what? And then they were like, oh, it's fine. And then they just took seats, because there was 2 seats on the other side of the aisle. So they were like, right, we'll just sit there. You know what I mean? On the other aisle. Anyway, what am I talking about? Yeah, so they decided, oh, no, it's fine. It's pretty much the same seats, just on the opposite side of the plane. So they were happy with that. And then this other couple came along, and, got in the way, And look, it would have been up to me. Terry didn't want to make a fuss. I would have been a lot more stupid and been like, I can't not be near her. I can't not be near her. I would have said something really stupid, right? But she didn't want me to make a fuss, right? So I didn't. So we were separated. Which, I like, She leans on me quite a lot. I like my space. And when I take my laptop out and start listening to something, she's like, why can't I listen? And I'm like, because I've got class Bluetooth headphones and you don't. And then it ends up that we have to then both listen in her shitty headphones. I'm not having a go. I love her. But what am I talking about? Anyway, so that was beneficial for me being an idiot. Qual is that special doll? I don't know how to read the menu. Can you just tell me? Can you just put it in my ears? Because I'm too stupid. Another thing. Well, no, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. That's been me very stupid. I'll tell you, something stupid I'm going to try, right? Here's something stupid I'm going to try. I've decided to prioritize my own happiness. And I told you about this in previous episodes. I celebrate when people prioritize their own happiness, right? And I'm going to go into a tailor's and I'm going to get my jeans taken up. I have had enough of the anxiety of folding up my cuff and folding down my cuff to match the hottest person around me. I see some guy, he looks like he's wearing chinos, they're folded up, he's got a nice van. Shoe. He could have a nice van. I didn't see his car. He's got a nice shoe. And he has a folded up cuff. I'm like, I want that. That looks class. Really nice. Right? Cool. And then I see someone else, they got it folded down and they got a nice kind of Chelsea boot. And I'm like, fuck. And then I fold my cuff down. I've decided to commit to the higher cuff. I'm like a fucking Jehovah's Witness. Have you decided to commit to a higher cuff? Well, I have. And I'm going into the tailor's. And this is how stupid I'm going to be. Yeah? I'm going to go into the tailor's. And I'm going to say, hi, can I get these taken up here? And they'll say, yeah. And then I'll say, hey, I'm sorry, can I just ask you a question? Because I'm really stupid. Will you do a deal if I give you like 4 pairs? Because I have 4. Will you do, because I'm stupid, will you do a deal if I give you 4? And I'm assuming they say yes. If they say no, then I'll just be, no, you're an idiot. But I still get it done. Do you know what I mean? So I'm an idiot. Anyway, what else? In other news, I have become the victim of hate. Okay, I've exaggerated here. A couple of months ago now, Jesus, it's months, I made a video. I was gifted, #gifted, right? I don't know if you saw the video that I put out on Instagram and on Facebook, but basically, someone from Coca-Cola got in touch with me and looking at basically, this is what they did. They just basically looked through who follows Liverpool on their Instagram, right? And saw who they follow, who follows Liverpool. You can look through Liverpool's Instagram or anyone Instagram, and it'll show you the people who you follow who follow that page. Does that make sense, right? Speaking of which, oh God, I I often... No, I'm not going to go into that. I'm not talking about that. Right. Why am I just saying stuff that's just going to embarrass me? I'm not talking about that. But anyway, what was it? Calm down. Tony, calm down. Anyway, so Coca-Cola sent me a message and said, hey, are you free in 2 weeks' time, right, short notice, to go to see your Liverpool fan? Would you be interested in going to a match? They didn't even say what match. A match in 2 weeks' time. Turns out it was going to be the Liverpool-Man City match, which was was up to that point the biggest game of the season, and it was in Anfield. Liverpool lost to Man City last year. Both unbelievably successful in terms of, this is how much of a football fan I am. This is what I was going to say. They were both unbelievably successful in generating points. So they're both I'm going to say it anyway. I don't fucking care. They were both unbelievably successful at generating points. Broke records in terms of points generated in the Premier League, right? So it was a big game, and they offered me tickets, and they asked, and they said, could you do something? And I said, I wouldn't mind doing a little vlog, right? I've wanted to try do little vlogs and little travel things. I'd love to eventually get into kind of travel and foodie kind of blogs and stuff like that, and I hope to still do that. So I thought this would be a good example, and also I could bring my brother, right? And the fact that this is like gifted and not paid, there's no, I don't know, whatever. I'm not in anyone's back pocket. Not that that's an issue, but you know what I mean. I'm not fucking paid or whatever. And there was no hashtag SP, hashtag ad. Again, I don't have an issue with that. I don't begrudge people who do that. I mean, Jesus Christ, people have to make money for what they do, right? I don't begrudge that, right? So anyway, Jesus Christ, they sent us to Anfield. And I made a little vlog about it. And it's the thing that my mom brings up the most, probably because my brother's in it, right? We had a great time. We were wined and dined. Liverpool won 3-1. I made a vlog about it. Some people found it funny. And I put it on Instagram, and I put it on Facebook as well. Now, I put things up on Facebook, but because I don't use Facebook that often, I just put things up, and I don't really check how quote-unquote successful or unsuccessful videos do or comments, I mostly do it through Instagram. So, long way of getting around to what I'm talking about here. My brother sent me a message and said, have you read the comments that people have okay, here we go. Boom, 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 honk, honk, boom, boom, hey, bro, I'm talking about Liverpool. I'm going to break you to the old school Ian Rush, Bruce Grobbelaar. Going to grab you a bit of tarmac. Can you do some tarmacking? All the Irish in Merseyside are macking. Because they go and they ask if you want a job. I don't want a Grobbelaar. Anyway. Basically, I for whatever reason, I just hadn't checked this. I hadn't checked this. I hadn't checked this video, and it kind of crept up on me that this video has 500,000 views, right? 500,000 views, making it probably the third or fourth most successful video ever. This is more views than most of the Maz Mate videos, or Dublin Frenchman or whatever. But it's hugely successful. And I looked at it and I realized why the hate that me and my brother got on this video because I look like a casual fan, right? And I wanted to read some of the comments, right? Because I found them very funny. And I can visualize. And look, I'm a fair weather Liverpool fan. I'm a very fair weather fan, right? And they clearly got a whiff of that off me. Anyway, so here's one, right? Stopped watching this idiot after he called Mo Salah the Egyptian prince, which I did. I thought he was called the Egyptian prince and not the Egyptian king. Again, I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. These guys generated so many points, it blew my mind. Another fella, right, who seems Welsh, so I don't know why he's having a go, but listen to this, right? And as well, just for context, in the video, I had a vegetarian breakfast, which I showed, and we went to a Beatles museum. This guy goes, right? Veggie, Liverpool supporter, Irish, and worst of all, Beatles fan. Why is that the worst? Why is that the worst? And also, picture him. Picture him. He's holding a chainsaw. This guy. Next guy, and this guy, I don't understand how this guy's got a kid in his picture, right? Who looks like him. So I'm assuming it's his son, right? Comment underneath. This guy holds a fork like a flid. Now, a flid, I googled, means. What did my friend say? My mate Jordan, who's from the Midlands, who knows all the Brit slang, or I should say English slang. Where is it? Yeah, so he says, flids are people born with short arms and legs due to their mothers being given a pill called thalidomide in the 80s for morning sickness. So there you are. Chap holds a fork like a flid. No, not you, me. Just an example of some of the scum that people send in. No. The thing is, I'm not a guy who I'm not. If people send me things all the time and they think they're having, they criticize me. They have a go, right? I don't like that, right? I can take things. You can call me a shit Liverpool supporter as much as you want. I am fucking sensitive. I do not. My mum, right? I remember my mum used to call my brother. She'd be like, when she's getting up for school, she'd be like, right, get up, fuck face, or she'd like slag him, say if he did something stupid, she'd be like, fucking idiot. Like we'd all laugh about it, right? And he'd laugh, right? She wouldn't say fucking idiot, but she'd be like, she'd call him fuck face, she'd call him shit for brains, and all this kind of stuff. And I remember saying to her, Mom, the way you're always with Andy, you're always like calling him like shit for brains and like fuck face. Well, why don't you ever call me that? And she said, well, Tony, you're just a bit sensitive. I don't think. And I was like, no, I want you to call. You're bonding with him over something. Oh, I want it. I was a spoiled brat. I think I've told you about. No, I haven't talked about that. I'll talk about that another time. Me getting a present for my brother's birthday. Anyway, so I said, yeah, I want it. And then the next morning, she's like, right, rise and shine, fuckface. I said, ah! And then we had to stop it. So I'm sensitive, right? And me and my friends, we're emotional guys, right? We slag each other now a little bit, only on WhatsApp, never in person. We can handle it a bit better now. Well, actually, no, they handle it a lot better. I just, whatever. We slag each other now. We don't go too deep, right? I've been on many the stag where, wow, did he really say that to his friend? But I can't handle that sort of shit, right? I'm the sort of guy who people are having a bit of a slagging match, right? And I'll rock in and I'll be like, isn't it brilliant us hanging out? I'm just fucking dead in the air, just ruin it. Guys, I know we're having a good time, but this is brilliant, isn't it? That we're all healthy and we're having a good time. Fuck boats and get this fucking mug out of here. So yeah, there were some of the comments, some of the nice comments from the fine my fellow Liverpool supporters. All right, and I tell you, they'd really kick off if they find out that I'm still on the West Ham mailing list from that time that I swapped over to them years ago. But anyway, we're gonna do it, guys. We're winning the league this year. And I tell you, I don't know which AliExpress counterfeit jersey I'm going to wear when we finally beat the guys on the final day of the match, the league. Also, do you know what that sounds like? That fucking part of when people are like, oh, wow, the kickball competition. Oh, the sports game. Whatever. It's like people posting about, oh, here we go. Brace for the Game of Thrones, bloody. I've never seen it, but shut up. Then you don't talk. You don't get to talk. Remember that in Game of Thrones. Now, of course, they shot the bed. They shot the bed. Wow. To have such unbelievably well-written characters and the most intriguing female characters and powerful female characters in the history of TV. That's not true. Carmela Sobrano is the greatest character ever written. But anyway, to have some of the best characters, right? And then just to be like, for the next 30 seconds, Game of Thrones spoilers here, right? Skip ahead 30 seconds. Oh, Brienne of Tarth. Oh, Jamie. I love you. Oh, God. That's the end. Fucking Cersei. Oh, well, I guess that's it. Oh, here comes Jamie. Oh, God, we're dead. Oh, blah, blah, blah. No fucking cool showdown. Nothing like that. And fucking, well, I guess Daenerys, she just needs a good fucking shag, man. She's fucking crazy, that bird. Man, I always knew that bird was crazy. I guess some birds are just crazy. Idiots. D&D writing that show. You idiots. You ruined it. But anyway. So when people would talk about Game of Thrones, like people would be having a conversation about Game of Thrones. And then, do you know what I learned at an early age, right? Well, actually, no, that's not true. I used to pipe up and be obnoxious all the time. But I'm getting better at, if I don't have that to say about anything, my wife and her family talk about rugby all the time, right? They love rugby. They're fucking rugby obsessed, right? I went to a game and, you know, me and my ma went to this game and we just kept standing up and cheering at the wrong time. We didn't know what was going on. We just kept shouting what other people were shouting. We were like, holding on, when a guy was just running with the ball because we didn't know what people were shouting. You know, he's over his line when he scored a try. Like, we don't know what we're talking about, right? We don't fucking know anything. But when my wife and her family are talking about rugby, I just stay quiet, right? I stay quiet unless unless I have questions, right? I don't go, I don't fucking get this rugby thing. Like, shut up. You don't have nothing to say, right? So when Game of Thrones was a thing and everyone was talking about it, you have people be like, yeah, I've never seen it. I just can't. Will I start now? And I'm like, no, you don't need to watch it. I don't know. Everyone's kind of talking about it. No, it's fine. No, we've got enough. We've got enough people watching it. Thank you. You're all right. I'm not going to fucking, I'm like, I don't fucking need you. I'm not coaxing you over to fucking watch anything. You have to see it. Nah, it's fine. You don't watch it, it's fine. Anyway, the movie rights for that bit of banter about Game of Thrones is for sale if you want to buy the movie rights to that class bit of content. If you want to buy I'm doing the Edinburgh Fringe about that bit of banter you just heard there. That class bit of. I'm trying to think of even though I just said I don't slag people, I do like that kind of leveler of saying, because you can't, if someone says something, you can't say that's so uninteresting. What you just said, you can't say that, but you can say, hey, can I buy the movie rights to that cool story? Or Zach Galifianakis had a great one on Comedy Bang Bang where he said, hey, how's your one-man tour of that story going? It's so good. But anyway, what's up? Anyway, we're almost coming to the end. I feel like can you hear this? Can you feel this? Can you feel it? Look again. I'm crashing. Right? I'm crashing. You can call me bloody you can call me your stoner mate from college. Because I'm crashing on your couch tonight, brah. I'm crashing. You can call me. Ooh. No. I'm not making that joke. It's too soon. I'm not making that joke. Right? If you thought of it, whatever. I'm not. I'm rising above that. There are easy jokes. And everything you say has a consequence. Right? So I need to just fucking rein that in. Right? Anyway, guys, I'm clearly crashing. And I want to thank you so much for listening to the pod, getting in touch, telling me that you like it. The people who have been very, very generously commenting or rather reviewing on the on iTunes has made a huge difference in terms of me bumping up the charts. So please, if you are listening to this on iTunes, do give it a nice little review. Please do. And yeah, also I've started streaming video gaming. Hey, I'm video gaming online, and I've been really enjoying it. So if you want to watch me do that, I do it on YouTube. So I think it's probably just Tony Cantwell on YouTube, Tony Cantwell Comedy on YouTube. And you can find me there. And I've been playing a Goose Game. I was playing a hilarious surgeon simulator last night. It was good crack. So do subscribe on YouTube. I feel like as much as things grow and ebb and flow, and Facebook might lose people and TikTok might grow people, I feel like email and YouTube are here to stay. And everyone's got a YouTube account. So if you could go over there and like and subscribe over on YouTube, that'll make a huge difference. And if you want to see me live, if you would like to see me live, I am doing a little tour across Ireland. So we have February 7th and 8th in Galway. Now, actually, John, I'm just going to tell you the ones that are still on sale. Okay. Galentine's Day, February 14th in Cypress Avenue in Cork. A couple of tickets still left for that, although they are selling fast as we get closer to the date, so probably will sell out, so please get in touch. February 20th in Dolan's in Limerick. I think there's still a good chunk there, so hey, if you want to make the journey, please come along there, or if you're nearby. Come to Limerick for the night. We're going to go out on the Raz. March 14th in Ratoath. Still some tickets left for that. March 21st, the Spirit Store in Dundalk. That's going to be a great night. That's March 21st. And March 28th in Laois. Please come along to that. It's going to be great fun, Port Laois. So, guys, that's it. I really hope you enjoyed the very giddy start to this episode and the eventual grumpy decline. And I will do my best to prioritize my own happiness, stop being so hard on myself. And hey, as always, guys, you love you too, and I love